Hello, good afternoon again, and welcome to the details. Now, President Akufo-Addo is expected to present to Parliament the State of the Nation address this Thursday. But ahead of the presentation, we find the actual state of the economy based on the official reports, what the economists are seeing, and the ordinary people. George Rafi has more.
Official figures released by the Finance Ministry and the Bank of Ghana showed that when it came to expenditure, government ended last year spending far less than the 52 billion cedis projected the 2017 budget. However, the challenge has to do with revenue, as figures seen by Joy Business as of October 2017 revealed that government was far away from reaching the 43 billion Ghana cedis target. Public debt also stands at 139 billion Ghana cedis, ending November 2017. With Joy Business sources say it's now trending down. Deficit and inflation rates are said to be under control, with some describing it as a sign of stability. But what are the verdict of the analysts on the true state of the economy? Professor Peter Korte is an economist.
The economy is picking up. Compared to 2016, I would say prospects for 2017 looks better, and also for 2018, we've seen some fairly decent growth rates for 2017. Some of the sectors that were not doing so well have grown marginally. Something like a sector like agriculture, which used to record negative growth rate, is seeing some positive signs. Manufacturing is also picking up. But most of the growth, or a greater proportion of the growth we have seen, is coming from oil, and that is not good enough.
So what about those on the streets of Accra? What are the assessments of the economy, whether current developments are impacting positively on their lives? Let's hear their views.
It is glaring that the economy is picking up because you see that industry is reviving now, you see. But then there's this other problem. The jobs that were promised are not coming. You see, the youth are complaining. Everywhere you go, you see them saying they want jobs to do, want this, that, want this, that. You see, but I think there's still light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, I'm still unemployed. I'm looking for a job, so things are getting expensive. What I'm impressed about is the fact that they are trying to streamline things, like for instance the port, where they are trying to make things paperless and all that. I'm impressed with those ones.
Actually, me as a person, I can say I'm not getting it properly now. For me, not yet. Not yet, but maybe I will hope for the best.
It has not had any serious impact on my life, but I think it's not bad. Comparing with previous years, I think it's an improvement over the previous years, especially coming to being the free SHS.
The State of the Nation address will be presented by the President on February 8, according to the Majority Chief Whip, Akwesi Ameya. The President's address will focus on how various sectors have fared, as well as some of the key policy measures, like the one district, one factory.
Now, the country's economic growth can be felt by all when government considers critical areas like social interventions, which have direct benefits on the citizenry. That's the verdict of the head of economics department at the University of Ghana, Professor Peter Korte. He says the general concern is that the benefits of the country's wealth are not felt is because distribution is not spread across all areas of the economy. In an interview with Joy Business, he conceived the economy is doing well, but governments must enhance its measures in blocking some loopholes.
Every capitalist economy or market-oriented economy, when there is growth, it is the sectors you find yourself that benefit. So if, for instance, growth is coming from oil, in our case, then those who work within the oil sector will feel it in their pocket. If you work within manufacturing, and there's growth in manufacturing, you will feel it in your pocket. If you work in agriculture, and there's growth within the sector, you will feel it. So those who say they don't find or they cannot feel the growth in their pocket is because the growth came from sectors where they didn't find themselves in there. It's just like when it rains. If it didn't rain in your area, your crops will not grow. But in every market-oriented economy, there is mechanism for redistribution. So where you grow and others are not feeling it, you find a redistributive measures, tax incentives, and other means by which you subsidize the poor. So busing, like you find the Ayalolo buses and all those other means by which you subsidize the poor can be done. The livelihood improvement concept is there, free SHS. These are all means by which government tries to redistribute the cake so that those who don't feel it in their pocket will eventually feel it in their pocket.
Great, but in all, do you think the economy is picking up?
Yes, it's picking up gradually, and I'm hoping the momentum would increase. But there are some positive signs within the economy that we should ride behind it.
Now, GCB Bank says it has absorbed 70% of the permanent staff of the defunct UT and Capital banks. It, however, states that contract staff, which is no longer needed, have had their services dispensed with. This was contained in a statement issued by the GCB to announce the completion of the integration of UT and Capital Bank. There's more in the following statement.
According to the GCB, the departing employees are to be paid a month's salary plus earned leave since August last year. GCB adds that it retained 22 out of 53 branches of the defunct institutions based on their location and accessibility to customers. This would increase GCB's total network branches to 183, which includes consolidation of core banking applications, procedures, processing the training of staff, and streaming the branches network. GCB last year acquired some assets of UT and Capital Bank after the Bank of Ghana reviewed the licenses of the branches of some regulatory requirements.
It's live on the marketplace, and over 400 employees stand the risk of losing their jobs as tomato paste canning company Happy Sunshine Company Limited continues to incur mounting costs before the restart of production. This is because the Environmental Protection Agency EPA has persistently failed to grant the required permits for the company to begin again their operations. The following report has more.
Hundreds of barrels of imported tomato paste sit here, waiting to be canned by the company. This is because the Environmental Protection Agency is yet to grant the Happy Sunshine Company the required permit to resume operations. Officials say they have persistently been chasing the permit without making any headway. The EPA has until now refused to respond to the company's request. These tins right here are tins that are waiting to be filled with tomato paste once the EPA gives the green light for production to start. There are several other tins lined up here, some to my left and many more on my right. All that is left is for the Environmental Protection Agency to give the go-ahead for production to start here. Located in Kuntunse in the South Municipality, Happy Sunshine Company Limited is unable to start production even though it has met all requirements demanded by the EPA. The EPA halted operations of the company in November 2017 after residents of the community within which the company is located raised some environmental concerns. The EPA subsequently directed the company to meet certain requirements as well as engage the community to secure their consent and support before any production can commence. It has increased the height of its chimneys, extended the height of the walls, inserted noise cancellation panels, among other requirements, as ordered by the EPA. Unfortunately, the EPA has still not issued a permit. Richard Ohinementa is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing. He explains the EPA's delay in granting them the permit is a disincentive to the country's plan of promoting the One District, One Factory campaign.
Now there is no work ongoing, but we have to cough money from somewhere to pay them. How do we survive? It's not easy. We have raw materials sitting down there. We can't use them because EPA hasn't given us a certificate. We don't know why. We don't know how long it is going to take for them to give us a certificate. And it's really costing us because over 400 people. We don't have any choice, but we are still looking at EPA to give us the certificate for us to go ahead and then produce, because we have met all the requirements and we think we are okay. And if we are not okay, they should come and tell us it's left with this or that, then we will do it, because whatever they say, we do it. If you are talking about one district, one factory, there's a factory here. We Ghanaians are trying to kill the factory. And do you think any other investor hearing this will come? I don't think so.
For now, the company continues to pay over 400 employees without any productive output. Some of the employees share the anxieties with Joy Business, and they say should this persist, they might lose their jobs.
Even right now, they closed the place down. From here to Media is 1 cedi 50 pesos. From here to Nsawan, 2 cedi. So maybe if this work has closed down right now, I do not get that kind of money to take a lorry from here, Kutunse to Nsawan. I don't think I can have any work to do.
We are pleading with the EPA to give our company the needed permits. I am a student. This is my only source of income.
I worry over this a lot. I can't sleep because I don't know how long they can keep us. I sometimes have thoughts of getting another job.
Behind me are 2 containers, and on a daily basis, these containers can be filled with produced tin tomatoes here in Ghana. Now, this is not so because the Happy Sunshine Company Limited is unable to produce these tin tomato paste because they have not gotten the required regulations or permits from the EPA. Although they have met all the requirements, they still haven't gotten the permit. And they fear that this can affect the over 400 employees because they don't know for how long they can hold on without producing. Reporting for Joy Business, Karen Dodu.
Now, back here in the studio, the Auditor General, Daniel Domelevo, has lamented the poor state of independence by some Ghanaian internal auditors as posing a threat to the fight against corruption. According to him, government must empower all public sector internal auditors in order to ensure strict compliance before approving procurement from various departments. The Auditor General's department has put on hold payments of services amounting to about 5.5 billion cedis for the year 2016 and 2017. This was disclosed by the Auditor General Daniel Domelevo at a news conference to highlight a report of public liabilities for the year 2016 and 2017 here in Accra. He noted that this is part of measures by the agency to protect the public purse.
We review the implementation and advise the weaknesses which are in the system, and I can assure you we have brought this to the attention of Ministry of Finance. I was there to meet the minister himself with my team, and the chairman was with me. And we thought we need to look at internal auditing in the country once more, because it is not the best. In fact, my biggest worry, which I expressed, Chairman, if you remember, was that now Auditor General is becoming the internal auditor of Ministry of Finance. Because internal auditors have lost their independence and cannot say it as it is. Anytime they see any item of expenditure which is huge, they start running to Auditor General. Say, Auditor General, can you verify this for us? I said, no. Use your internal auditors, and I think we have to empower them to do that. Exactly. Yes, so I explained for Frederick, I've already explained why there's a difference between the Ministry of Finance figure and that of the MDAs. Is the public purse protected? It is for you and me to answer that question. I hope you've seen it protected, right? When there's so much leakage. Mind you, we have looked at only liabilities. There are several dangerous spots, like revenue. How much is the state entitled to, and how much is coming into the port? That's why I said we are very encouraged by the interest shown by the media and Ghanaians in this report. We will look at other areas and report as such. So currently, I cannot say, you can say for yourself, but I cannot say the public purse is safe until we reduce these things to the barest minimum. Thank you.
Let's now turn attention to the downstream sector of the petroleum industry, and some oil marketing companies have told Joy Business they are going ahead to increase prices at the pumps. This is despite an earlier call by the Energy Ministry for them to hold on because of the implementation of the stabilization levy. Now, my colleague George Riafe has been following up on this issue and has joined me here in the studio to tell us how far we've gone. Now, George, bring us up to speed with the current situation.
So what we understand is that most of the major oil marketing companies, they've started reviewing their prices, and some have gone up by as much as 4% and even 5%. Total did theirs last week, and they've done the adjustment already. We also understand that Shell is going to do that very soon. Some other oil marketing companies, and don't forget we have about 90 oil marketing companies, or even more in terms of new entrants getting some approvals or receiving their licenses. And what we understand is that those big oil marketing companies, they've started reviewing their prices, and very soon if you drive to that service station, depending on which oil marketing company or service station that you buy your fuel from, you're going to see that the prices have changed. Therefore, your budget should be going up a little bit higher.
Now, previously, government had told them to hold on. So do you have any indications why they are threatening or they are adamant to this situation?
The stabilization levy has the fund has some limited amount in it that government can use to hold prices. It looks like prices have gone up to certain levels that it will be difficult for us to still draw from the stabilization fund to use to cushion consumers. And don't forget, the ministry was insisting that this policy will be in place till the end of this month. But it looks like, looking at where prices are going right now, it's not possible for still to use proceeds from those funds to try and hold on prices for you and I. So it looks like the levels have hit very high, they've gone high, and the stabilization levy might not be enough to use to keep prices unchanged at the pumps.
All right, now I know two key determinants contribute to pricing of petroleum products. Now, are we in this particular window looking at just crude oil prices, or are we looking at the cedi depreciation?
Well, crude oil prices have gone up significantly on the international market, and if you look at over the past week, it's gone up substantially. The good thing for us that the cedi has recorded some stability, and even one would say some marginal appreciation, and that has even kept price a little bit hold for now. If it hadn't been that, it could have been worse than that. And some are also saying that if it hadn't been the stabilization levy, prices could have been higher than that. So them being able to use it previously has been able to hold prices a little bit. But it looks like a major determinant is the fact that crude oil prices are going up. And don't forget that impacts on the final finished product. So if it's higher to get the raw crude, it would impact on when you even refine that crude. And don't forget, costs of freight and insurance are also going up because increasingly the region is becoming very, very risky as well. So all these variables are impacting on the price of crude that these oil marketing companies are actually importing to the country. And those are some of the variables that we have. It has impacted on the final product that is likely to be sold to you when you drive to the service station to purchase fuel.
It's very unfortunate. So beyond the February deadline, what happens after the stabilization levy is finished?
Government might or doesn't want to or may not want to get into that area again of subsidizing prices of petroleum products. Unless that they want to do that, then we're going to see a situation where prices will be kept unchanged. But it looks like the way prices are increasing today was $65 a barrel. And the argument some will see that we also don't do spot buying. But when the prices are going up like that, it has an implication on the finished product. And for those who are even having in stock, they might want to delay a little bit so they can cash in from those soaring prices. So it looks like unless government gets back into that era where they were still using subsidies to hold price of petroleum product, it means that they are going to go up.
Could this be justification for hedging of petroleum imports at this time?
It's a very interesting thing because some have said that it's quite an expensive insurance project. So how do you draw the line going in for, if you are saying that is, how much will it cost us to do the hedging? How much will it cost us to still directly give out the OMCs that take this money and don't increase it? So I think we need a more detailed analysis of the situation to really appreciate as in the cost-benefit analysis. Will it be good for us to hedge, or will it be good for us to still go ahead and subsidize price of petroleum products?
Maybe you can
a very informed judgment by looking at the numbers and saying that, okay, from the numbers that I've seen, let's go ahead and subsidize. From the numbers that I've seen, let's go ahead and then urge petroleum, because we're already doing that for the power companies. So what stops us from doing it for consumers?
All right, thank you very much, George.
Thank you so much.
Update, and that was George Rafi bringing us up to speed with the current development, where OMCs, some of them, are threatening to review their prices upward, even though government is telling them to hold on to it because the stabilization levy has still been activated for the month of February. We will try and get an oil marketing expert or a player in the oil marketing industry to actually tell us all these, or put all these into perspective. But before we get to him, let's go on. And the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ACEP, has been criticizing the application of the stabilization levy, arguing its sustainability to cushion prices of petrol. Now, Executive Director of ACEP, Ben Boakye, says the stabilization levy cannot be activated over a long-haul period of petroleum price hikes. Ben Boakye says stabilization levy can be useful during periods when conditions causing the negative reaction to pricing can be well explained. He was reacting to threats by the oil marketing companies.
It's not a sustainable arrangement, because if you use a stabilization fund and you exhaust it, what happens beyond that? It means that you have to hit us with the right price. Other than that, government will have to subsidize. And that's what consistently we have said, that that stabilization levy ought to move away from the product. We have to take it down so that we can work with the market and let the public know that those levies don't exist, and therefore when prices go up on the international market, we have to pay for that price. Because now you are stabilizing up to February, and then you hit us with the right price, and that could be hurting, for industry and for business. Because Ghana, everybody depend on petroleum products. We need petroleum products to move around, because our transport system is shambolic, it's not efficient, and you can rely on it to even attend to office work. And therefore, the only way people are able to move around is when they have petrol in their cars, to go to work and also to produce. So we need to make sure that the prices can be stable, and a way to do that is to limit how much taxes we are piling on, including the levy. That has been our position, that you cannot accumulate enough money to stabilize products over the long haul. It cannot be done. And like we are saying, when February comes and the money is out, or they've run out of the money, they'll have to pass on the cost, or further, get money from government to stabilize the price, which I don't see coming. So you are telling people to prepare, for a major jump in petroleum products when the stabilization fund is run out. Those funds could be useful when you have a situation that can be explained, why there is a shortage on the market, and why that shortage is activating some reaction on the market.
And we will certainly bring you other developments related to this particular situation on the Business Live this evening at 5 p.m. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji, and it's a wrap for the market. Please have a good afternoon.